I'll tell you all about it later.
Yeah. I've got £50 note in mine. Yeah, £50 note. You got to look for that. Where is it? Thank you, Joe. £50 note you put in mine, isn't it?
Happy Christmas now.
It will be. £50 you've given me.
Look at your wrong car.
They were my money.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Get lost. Oh, well. Oh, where you got that from off there? I haven't got a present.
Right, good evening ladies and gentlemen, this is a notice of the council meeting. You are hereby summoned to attend the meeting of Emsworth Town Council to be held in the main hall, Emsworth Town Council Community Centre, Bullenshaw Road, Hemsworth, commencing at 7 p.m. on Thursday, 1st of December 2022 for the purpose of transacting the following business. So we'll move to item 1, apologies for absence. To receive apologies for absence and to consider and approve the reasons for absence. Alan?
Councillor Wilson,
Item 2, declarations of interest. Council should disclose pecuniary or non-pecuniary interest in any items on this agenda. Yeah. Item 3, public question time. To receive questions from members of the public and to receive any reports from community meetings. Yes, Vicky at the back. I'll come to you next, sir.
I'm looking at, it's now December, and are you looking at your budget for 2023 to 24? And if so, is accessible play equipment in that budget?
budget set in January.
Yeah.
And we're still funding, hopefully can become like accessible equipment for play work.
Did you get that, Vicky?
No, I didn't, sorry.
So the budgets are set in January, and we're looking for Wakefield Council to put something in place for that project.
I know
For the play area.
Are they going to be doing, are we going to be doing something? So it's quite expensive, this play equipment, but it's well deserved for the children and young people who require it, so that they're able to join in with their family activities. Are we doing anything?
Like I said, with the budgets, Vicky, are in January, so that will be discussed at that time.
Right, thank you. And my other one is, a while back there was a second meeting that you wanted members of the public to join in, to put ideas forward, you know, for things to happen in the area. I've not heard anything since then.
No, neither have I. I don't think, unless somebody's approached Alan, that anybody come forward.
I think members of the public were asked to approach the council, either in writing or something like that.
Last week I emailed Alan.
And I believe some did, never.
Yeah, I did.
Alan, can you elaborate, because I don't know.
I can't recall, I'm sorry if I can't remember.
Yeah, it was actually said for the residents to actually write into yourself, Mr. Draper, and then a panel would be drawn up.
I knew you were not happy, thank you.
Right, so can you look into that, Alan, then, to see if you have got any emails or anything from correspondence?
I don't know if it forward, didn't I? How long since were it done back?
I would say,
A week now,
I would say September time.
September?
Yeah.
And it's not been sorted then?
Right, well, we've left it with Alan, so we'll come back to us. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
October, late October.
Yes. I'd just like to request that the town clerk uses a microphone when he speaks, because I can't hear him, so I don't know how the people at the back. So we're losing a lot of information that we ought to be listening to.
Yeah, we'll pass him the mic when he has to speak. Any more questions?
Oh, do you want to go first?
Sorry.
Lynn? Yeah, go on.
It was
I'll come to you, Lynn, then
yeah,
I'll
it
come
was
to
just
Dave, and then I'll come to you, Catherine.
just to clarify that a couple of people have pointed out that it was on the HTC website to contact Sian about the events committee, not Alan, and a number of people are saying that they actually had emailed Sian about it.
Right, thank you, Lynn.
So we're not many.
Yeah, so obviously,
So we're not 9 people. Yeah,
Of course we can name
So-
them into, like,
yeah, we'll look into it, because she's,
don't name.
no. Which is good, she does more than
Right,
others, don't she?
Dave?
Brilliant.
Just reading this literature in, upstated and obviously it's now backed up. At Saw Construction paid and the outstanding monies in July.
Can't hear you, love.
At Saw Construction paid all the outstanding monies in 2012.
Can we move on, move progress?
No,
It's
no,
been-
sorry.
Can we move progress?
Can we have the courtesy, please?
Yeah.
That we don't do that when you're speaking or when you're chairing anything. I'm a precept mayor and I can have my say, please.
Yes, go on, Dave.
At Saw Construction paid the outstanding monies, and it says it here, in July 2012, then there would not have been any interest to be the care or any further legal costs. Now, it also in here it states that the legal advice at the time was for the council to actually foreclose. Now, if that is the case, why did the council then sit on their hands for 7 years? And the only serving person that was on it at the time, and was you aware of this? And I know you're also aware that's what's in here, that in 2016, Tina Pattison made Saw Construction aware that the £200,000 interest would have been better off in the pockets of Saw Construction rather than the precept mayors.
I think it did come up at the last town council meeting regarding that, because I think it were Kathy, I think it were you asked about how much had been paid in legal fees, I think, and I did mention that last week at the special meeting regarding it. The money that were waived from the last council interest, which were quite a considerable amount, and obviously they were asked to complete, and if they had completed, Kathy, is what your question was about the finances, we wouldn't have even had them that to pay. And if you kick the can down the road, as some people say, after May, the next council would have still had the finances, legal costs to pay. But obviously it's been sorted now. So, but yeah, you're right. This is what I mentioned at the last town council meeting.
My question was about, you were discussing something in the exclusion that mentioned legal costs. I wasn't asking about what had happened before. I was questioning why it was back on the agenda, Kirbygate, and that you were looking at instructing a solicitor again, which what then happened was they came back into the meeting after it had been discussed in exclusion, and it was said that that hadn't been agreed. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, that wasn't shown on any of the Zoom. For some reason, the Zoom wasn't started when that statement was made. So a lot of people that were watching on Zoom didn't actually know what had been stated. It was only the people that were actually in this meeting. But yeah, my question is relating to something on the agenda. So what I want to know is, when we come to that section, will I be able to ask a question? I don't want to ask it now because I don't know what you're going to discuss, and due to the fact that I've sent in a freedom of information to Mr. Draper. The reply I got this morning doesn't work with my figures, and the accounts are showing other information, and I can't find anything in the minutes where this was discussed. So if you're going to discuss this item, which is on the agenda, why can't I then come in to ask a question relating to that?
Because we're having public question time now, Kathy.
Right,
Then
okay
no
then.
more questions.
Right, well, in that case, I will ask you the question. So that's what I'm going to do with it. So, item 23, the farmers' car park at Kingsley. I asked Mr. Draper for all information regarding that, whether there was a contractual agreement drawn up by HTC and yourselves regarding the use of it. Also, all costs associated, including material, staffing costs and everything else. Mr. Draper sent a reply to me this morning, didn't really answer all the questions, very vague, which isn't unusual. So there's 4 items in your accounts showing 4 planings that doesn't equate to Mr. Draper's figure. And also we've got an invoice for MRC groundworks, which again I've asked for a copy of that invoice on what it relates to, which I've been told I'll get in the morning, not today. So can you tell me why we engaged MCR groundworks? Because according to the minutes, no other work was taking place in any other areas, and the code that's put against all of these invoices is code 101, which is for Lakeside, which in my eyes, the car park that belongs to you shouldn't actually be coded
It
as
doesn't
one of,
belong to me now.
well, you and,
It doesn't belong to me, Kathy.
well, you're part of the company.
It wasn't last time we had a meeting, we said it was.
Yeah, well, I'm just answering, it's not my car park.
Well, it's,
Right, so answer to that then, Kathy, is that it is on the meeting. I can't give you the answers to the planings of the other. I think that's got to go through Alan to answer that.
so
Any more questions?
so can Alan answer that then, please?
I'll come back to you, Catherine. I'll email you tomorrow.
But surely you've had to look at all this information for this meeting.
I don't remember we had planings for different parts of the council with what planings.
But they're all coded 101, which is the Lakeside. If it's planings for Sandygate's got a different code.
It has, yeah, but I'll have to check that tomorrow and get back to you.
Well, they're all coded
I've got a good
101.
memory, but not perfect.
I might be able to assist you.
No, you're through chair like us.
If I can go through chair, yeah.
Yeah, that's
MRC Groundworks put a tender in, I think there were 3 tenders, and that was for the work outside the lakeside. With regards to road planings, Kathy, and the town council purchased road planings from Kirby Road when they were taken up. And a lot of road planings were taken down to enter Water Park, and then from there were moved to different sites.
No, you purchased them from Wakefield.
I went to Wakefield Met and ordered
Yeah,
the road
the
plates.
ones, I do
And they went
apologise.
direct, and
Yes.
I was being back
Yes,
and
the
forth.
ones that went to car park were from Wakefield. The others with the 101 code on went, which MRC at that time were working, came from here.
No,
And it was.
all the amounts in the accounts are showing that they were purchased from Wakefield Council. You've got 4 items that they all have been purchased from Wakefield Council.
The biggest amount of road planings, I can guarantee you, came from Tarmac. When we
well,
took this road.
well, in that case, you need to check your accounts because somebody's paid for something that hasn't been.
Well,
All the
it was
accounts
on
is
a
from
account.
Wakefield.
So, right, we're gonna finish now, and Kathy, Alan's just said that he's gonna email you tomorrow, so that's the end of public question time.
Madam Chairman, can I just ask, maybe I'm a little bit thick, it's before my time, what a road plane is?
Just, you know, when they take the time.
Tarmac.
Yeah, just
That's fine.
Scrape things up,
Yeah.
but they don't.
I don't know, I'm not an engineer, so.
Well, listen, I'm not an engineer, but I managed to get some for places in Fitzwilliam where they've got holes.
So, item 4, recorded votes, as
Yeah,
per minute
all right,
number
yeah.
262, 2021 to 22, to consider which items on the agenda were recorded for. I think we recorded them all. I think we recorded them all anyway. Item 5, Town Council meetings. To approve the respective minutes of the council meetings held on 13th of October and the extraordinary council meetings held on 10th and 17th of November 2022. Can we have a mover?
Yeah.
And a seconder? Are you all in favour? Item 6, committee and subcommittee meetings. To adopt the minutes of committees and their chairs' respective subcommittees as follows. So we'll just go on all and then we'll move them. So, Leisure and Recreation, 3rd of November 2022. Finance, 10th of November 2022. Policy and Planning, 10th of November 2022. Can we have a vote? And a second, all in favour? Item 7, accounts for payment to confirm. Item 7, accounts for payments to confirm the payments of accounts as approved at the Finance Committee meeting held on 10th of November 2022. Yeah. Item 8, correspondence. The town clerk to report on correspondence in respect of the following. A email from a parishioner regarding the cost of the jukebox rental for the Lakeside Cafe Bar.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It's a short email from a parishioner about the jukebox at the cafe bar. Council have money to waste and I can't see why they are paying £168 a month for a jukebox at the park when the park has a full music licence, so can play any music from another source, radio or even at the TV on a music channel. So if I interpret that, Madam Chair, I believe the parishioner thinks the council should stop using the jukebox. It's up to council to decide either way.
Well, I think I've got to agree now. Obviously, before in summer, obviously it was free play, so people had free play, and they were obviously being entertained through there with beer garden, putting the music on. Obviously, it was well played. And before that, there were nobody putting the money in when we used to get so much commission off it. There were nobody putting it in, so it was a really waste of time. So I think it was trialled, but I've got to agree, it's money that we can save, and if members are in favour of that, we'll get the jukebox taken out. I think we'll get obviously people being used to coming in and getting a free play, so there probably might be some complaints about that, but Obviously, it is £162, is it? 168.
It is nearly £2,000 a year.
Yeah. Yeah, but it is for parishioners as well, and it was free play. We trialled it. Obviously, a member of public's emailed in. I've got to agree with it. So, if you're all in favour, we'll get that jukebox taken out. Yeah, I think.
How are you going to sell it, sir?
I think we're all. I think we're all in favour of that. Yeah.
I'll buy it.
Item 9, casual vacancy. The town clerk to report accordingly.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Everyone's probably aware that now former councillor Harry Mitchell resigned from the council. As there are now less than 6 months to go to the scheduled elections, there won't be a by-election. The council has a decision to make tonight, whether to leave the position vacant till May or whether to co-opt. If the council goes to the latter, the council can then invite people to express an interest, and at the next meeting, if that's what known as one, will be when the co-option would take place.
I second that.
Can't we do it now, Alan?
No, tonight isn't who to co-opt, it's whether to co-opt.
If somebody shows an interest, it goes out. And then position won't be filled out February.
There's a procedure, unfortunately. So, Sean's proposed, and we've got a seconder that we co-opt, all in favour. Item 10, community grants and or assistance to consider the following. A request from the Friends of Ashfield House for Christmas vouchers. Alan?
Yes, Madam Chair, the council's done similar in previous year. It's from the Friends of Ashfield House, and they're saying they'd be grateful if once again the council could provide the residents with a £10 Christmas voucher for Tesco's. That's 23 residents.
Yeah, we're all in favour of that. I think we've done it every year, and I think we should continue it. I think that's unanimous, Alan. B, a request from Little Fish Soft Play and Community Cafe for a grant to assist with their warm space.
Yes, Madam Chair. I'll read it out, it's not too long. Little Fisher's Soft Play Community Cafe at Hemsworth Methodist Church is part of the Methodist Church. Back in 2016, Hemsworth Methodist had the vision to serve the community by providing a safe place for families and other members of the community to meet in. In February 2022, the vision became a reality, and Little Fisher's Soft Play and Community Cafe was opened. A range of services are regularly accessed by over 200 people each week. The not-for-profit model that the project uses sees any profit being made by the centre invested back into the community. They're looking for a grant of around £250. This money will complement the money that has been raised by the centre so far to provide the much-needed warm banks over the winter period.
That's brilliant, that. In fact, I think we could think of giving them a bit more.
Well, and shall box.
Right, so we've got a proposal to we're all in favour.
I'll put it up to
Yeah.
300.
We've just had a vote,
The vote on the answer to 250, so
Well, yeah, yeah. If they need any extra, just come and have a collection.
Item 11, abuse, intimidation, rudeness policy, to consider a recommendation from the Policy and Planning Committee to amend the abuse, intimidation or rudeness policy so that such matters are dealt with by a standing panel of councillors with reserves.
Yes, Madam Chair. At present, this policy is handled by the Chair. The proposal is to change that so it's a standing panel of councillors. So if the council approves it, a panel will need to be appointed. There are no cases at present that would need this, but this would be a standing panel just in case. Minimum of 3 plus a reserve.
Just ask Chair, so this one we talked about is where we're assuming when you just feed things up, basically, that is a card online. You've got your panel already pre-selected amongst a group of 3, 4, 6, and then you just pick from there. That round the right,
And can we adhere to GDPR, please, if we
Right,
approve
so
that panel?
we just, excuse me Kathy, it's a council meeting, I'm sorry. Pick a panel.
Rudeness.
I'll second that.
So we've got, to pick a panel, we've got, I think, you know, yeah, we've got, yeah. Yeah.
We're all up reserved.
Item 12, freedom of information and subject access procedure. To consider amending the prospective procedure for dealing with freedom of information requests and subject access requests so that such requests do not have to be anonymised, report to the council.
Yeah, President Madam Chair, I report all requests anonymously to the council. The proposal is to cut that part of the process out so people still get replies at the same time.
Oh yeah, I think that should happen anyway, shouldn't it? Yeah. So are we all in favour of that? Yeah. Right. Item 13, review of public question time. To review the public question time section of council committee meetings.
Yes, Madam Chair, this was Councillor Brown's proposal, but obviously she can't make it tonight. And as I understand it, it was about the where to have the, not physically but time-wise, where to have the public question time, at the beginning or the end of the meeting. It's up to members where you want to have it.
I'm not going to how it is. At the beginning.
I don't know what you're going to say.
Yeah.
It should be an end.
No, it should be an end, no. If there's anything being said during, then the public can ask the question about it at the end of the meeting.
Absolutely.
So, it's still 15 minutes though, we're saying.
Oh, I don't know about
No,
that.
put it to half an hour.
Well, I think people have been working, you know, through day and
Yeah.
yeah, but some councillors, you know, after the meeting, might be ready to leave and not, you know, want to wait.
When they get an awkward question.
When we're working.
So,
We're all work.
We've got questions when time
I've just,
question time.
So if it's an awkward question, so time's up.
I was just asking, it would be better end that's already been sorted out.
no, that's what we just saw.
No,
now.
I'm on about,
better than that.
and they've explained it to me.
So, right, all in favour then of having it be after, not before, but after the meeting?
Before exclusions. Before exclusions.
Before exclusion, yeah.
And you're not
Yeah,
getting
it's still the same anyway, yeah. Yeah, yeah, I think it's unanimous, yeah. I'm not going to start, but it's,
No, you're
it's
older.
going to be, it's going to be, before exclusion present public, so it's still in anyways. Yeah.
Madam
Item,
Chairman, am I right in saying I'm probably going to get shot down here? We don't need to have public questions. Meetings are for councillors, not for the public.
No,
But
yeah,
it's a
private
courtesy
public.
that we give them the opportunity to ask questions.
Good practice.
It's good practice.
We can't have them until 2019.
I don't want to be shot down, but that's standing orders.
before you had to put a letter in,
Yeah.
and then you'd get your answer.
Stop.
But
Obviously,
it's a courtesy that we afford the public to be able to ask questions.
Yeah.
well, it's 15 minutes into, so.
Yeah, I know, but
If
I'm
it's that much
just
enough,
pointing out.
Right, we're moving on to, Ian, we're moving on to item 14. Audio recordings of confidential sections of meeting. To consider the audio recordings of the confidential part of council committee meetings, i.e. when the press and public have been excluded. I don't think we can do that.
Advice was sought from YLCA, Madam Chair. I did circulate to members, and the advice was not to do so. It was fraught with legal difficulties.
Yeah. So, we're going to go with the recommendation from YLCA then. Yeah. Right. Item 15, Play World, Emsworth Water Park, used by local schools, to consider a policy to allow free exclusive use of Play World by primary schools in the parish during the term time for 1 or 2 days each per year. Well, I can't see any problem with this, but
Can't really refuse them.
for local schools. They get access to it anyway, and in school, if it's a school project as well, you know, they learn and play, don't they?
So,
So,
like Councillor Edge just said, you can't refuse them, it's the parishioners, and that's what it's got.
well, you can, but we're not going to anyway, are we? So, that's why we're going to make a decision.
I should hope you're not going to.
Well, it's school time, isn't it? It's in school time, so there won't be in any way with the, oh, I said, yeah, there is. Yeah. Well, yeah. I think, oh, that's the thing, I mean, you've got...
No, Madam Chair, this is the flip side to it. The good thing is that you have a local school with exclusive use of it. So I think the proposal would be that you strike a balance between allowing that use with a maximum, because you wouldn't allow other children in at the same time as the school there.
I think we've got to, I mean, we can't refuse.
This is something I've been here through summers and we're going to involve summers and said yes. I think what Ian's basically trying to say is, let's just give the clerk the permission to say yes, in certain time, blah blah blah, and then we announce it. I think that's what you're trying to say.
No, but I agree with that, but what I'm saying is if what the younger age, younger from school age, that are not at school, and if they want to use Play World, which they, you know, they're in the community as well, surely they would. So you're saying refuse them?
We do it anyway. We do it anyway.
So we refuse people in parish?
Anyway, just for 1 or 2 days a year, we say the schools can have it for a certain event.
No,
it's not events, is it?
No, it's just a different thing. No offence, Dave, but if we've got a school in there, don't you think that's enough kids in there anyway?
Only up to a certain age anyway.
We get hundreds, don't we, on a...
We don't get on in Play World.
Only for
Because if you do it, it's health and safety is.
You get a lot of people.
At a certain age.
Ian?
The only thing I was going to add regarding it is, they've obviously got to give us plenty of notice to have it. It's probably going to be a month at least, if not 2 months. We don't know what the weather's going to be like. So I think we should give them the opportunity to cancel it if it happens to be pitch past coming down in raining quite heavy. So if it starts raining, then they can cancel it.
And maybe when I go to bed, if it's quite different, just go on for them and give some free pop and crisps.
Right, so we're going to move to item 16. Yeah, it's already been done, but they wouldn't use it anyway in rain and sleet or anything.
But give them the
That is
opportunity
an
to
outcome.
cancel it and rebook.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good idea, to cancel it and rebook if the weather stops it from happening that day.
Designation of council information to consider a policy to restrict the designation of financial information so that is only issued by the council, the finance committee or the town clerk.
Yeah, could you just explain what you put out that thing where you've got down, what you think I'm
Yeah, it's the publication of financial information, just to avoid any doubt. It's better that it comes from one source being the account.
If you sound like that on email I got, so I thought, well, but yeah, that's what I think, if there's going to be financial information going out, we all need to know about what's going out. So it should come to council for, instead of, then we can correct it if it's wrong. Then there's no misleading, there's nothing.
Yeah, because in the last meeting, the information was incorrect.
It hasn't been like that for months.
This is.
And are we not supposed to get these right before the meeting instead of during the meeting?
That's not from this
But is that supposed to be like 7 days before?
It is, but that's not from the town clerk, or it's from the agenda.
So you get spun on as soon as they come in with that, that's good all over.
Right, well, you can take it home and read it, can't you?
Well, it's too late now, isn't it?
Too late, it's got meeting, isn't it? It's
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
No.
We probably have most of these documents before anyway.
Yeah, you've had them about 7 times.
I know you're going to shut, I know you're going to shut me down, I know you're going to shut me down, but can you please say that you've made a mistake in the last meeting about the figures that you've got?
I've already said, it's a council meeting and we're not having
But you've
public
given the
questions.
wrong information to the public in the last meeting.
Don't come in and vote on
It
whether
is,
it's
it
the council
is as
floor.
it is, isn't
Yeah.
it, so.
Come in and vote.
As I understand it, it would be to prevent things like information being handed out prior to meetings, that kind of thing. That's my understanding.
Right, so in future then, you get prior notice and it's sent to councils.
And only released by finance committee.
Yeah, it should really only be on the finance committee.
Right, so,
Then let's see what she has to say now.
I think we'll agree to that, 7 days prior, just like the meetings, we have 7 days notice, don't we, so. Right, item 17, corporate risk assessment, to review the council's corporate risk assessment.
Yeah, it's been circulated to members, Madam Chair, taking back approval.
Are we all, yeah, we all in favour? Yeah. 18, budget update and payments to the town council to report accordingly.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yeah, I did circulate an update to all members. Cutting a long story short, as of again second quarter, the council was 9% over budget. So, as per my report, I recommend there be no more budget to spend this year.
Item 19, Citizens Advice Service 2023 to 2024, to consider provisions of the Citizens Advice Service at Hemsworth Community Centre in 2023-24.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Citizens Advice currently charge the council for the year 3,500, and for next year, starting in April 2023, their cost will go up to 3,850. Does the council want to accept?
Can we get figures now how many people attend?
Sorry, can you say that again?
Figures of how many attend?
When is the unit centre available for citizens? I didn't know anything about that.
Yes.
I can't post anything.
1 day a fortnight.
1 day a fortnight?
Yeah.
A particular day?
Like twice a month, which isn't once a fortnight.
Okay. Any
Yeah, I mean,
particular
it
day?
is, sorry.
Any particular day? Sorry, Madam
It's a
Chair.
regular day.
Sorry, I'll
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not noticed for.
Yeah, but you did very well January then, and we'll just get some information, Alan, how many users it is, yeah, obviously with budgets as well, so.
And if it's
Yeah.
put up on a notice board, people can see it, they'll know what.
Right, item 20, internal auditor, to confirm the council's internal auditor for 2022 to 2023.
Yes, Madam Chair, this was deferred from earlier this year. The council needs to appoint an internal auditor. The one for the past 3 years has been Corporate Financial Services, Mr. Simon New, Chartered Accountant. I recommend the council appoint him, and then next May the council can review and either reappoint him or appoint somebody else.
I'll propose that.
Yeah, well, I think, yeah, so, council's recommendation are defer it.
You know what they're on about?
Yeah. Item 21, workplace pension auto enrolment declaration, the town clerk to report accordingly.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Every 3 years, the employee has to declare that it's complied with its auto enrolment duties with regards to workplace pensions. I can confirm that the assessment's been done, and I've sent the declaration to the pension regulator.
Item 22, West Yorkshire Pension Fund, actual assessment.
Actuarial.
Yeah, thank you. The town clerk to report accordingly.
Yeah, it's a separate item to that one, madam, even though it relates to pensions. The pension fund conducts an assessment every few years. They're currently doing that, and I'll report next year when they report back.
Yeah, item 23, so we're still going to have to get another chair while...
Madam Chair, just to clarify, you have a peculiar interest on this item, so you can't speak about it. The Vice Chairman isn't present, so for this item, the Council will need to elect a chair.
I propose Sean.
Go out then. Going out if you don't own it. It says yours. What should it own it?
So, item 23, there is an email that I need to read out, that I've just received. October 21st, 21st of October 2019. Oh, sorry, it's from Mr. Misreckle, sorry, I do apologise. So on 21st of October 2019, AG and HG Groundworks were approached by Head of Town Council for permission to use the farmers' parking area at Kinsley. Permissions were timing of the essence and highway safety due to fatalities on Wakefield Road, Kinsley. The request was for the council to use a land for residents parking attending Head of Town Council annual bonfire and fireworks display. The agreement was subject to 1. Carry out the appropriate risk assessments. 2. Provide the council made the parking surface safe. 3. Provide the appropriate insurance. 4. Provide the appropriate parking safety staff. Due to heavy rainfall, it was not until 4th of November 2019 that the parking surface was completed. By the 5th November 2019, the council had complied with the owner's stipulations, and HTC were given keys for the gates. The HTC council on the car park that evening, and any parking fees the council retained. After the above date, the council were allowed to use the parking area as a summer water park overflow parking. Again, due to concerns with highways, industrial estate safety and numerous times, including permission to accommodate a fun fair from 2019 to 2021. All fees charged were retained by the HTC Council, which are £1,230, plus the use of free parking over this period. Due to the derogatory and abusive comments by some councillors and residents, despite the service being available to the HTC Council, AG and HD Groundwork, with all due respect, regrettably hereby terminated the agreed statement above forthwith. This is not without prejudice termination notice, in that any further potential libelous comments by individual councillors on social media or public meetings will personally be held accountable and pursued through the courts. These actions will be presumed negligent, and such councillors are put on notice they will not hold no legal liability or financial obligation from Head of Town Council. AG and HD Groundworks also respectfully recommend the Town Clerk put all Town Council on notice of their legal entity and personal liability in this matter. HGE on behalf of AG and HG Groundwork Limited.
In other words, we can't say anything.
Is that a threat then?
Unbelievable.
So can I just ask why wasn't I given that information this morning from you, Alan? You said you had no correspondence. You said you had no correspondence, and that is dated the 21st of October 2019.
Exclusion. All I can say is that it was sent on Saturday, November 19th at 0600, according to the email chain.
So he just said he had it this
So I think we're going to have to... Chairman, correct. And I could be wrong. This was handed to me this afternoon by this gentleman here. So I must apologise. That was the email was sent, but it wasn't sent to the town clerk.
Oh, sent it then.
Mr. Chairman.
Oh, well sent out. He will put it
There were comments.
Be careful what you say, please.
There were comments on social media said and the town council and the public, certain councillors, have been jumped, and we are.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll close that item down and I'll invite the council chair back in. We'll have to move that item into
Well done, Mr. Davies.
That'd be right then. Well done. Are you going to clerk? I think that's the war has just been threatened. Ooh, now then. Let them have it.
Item 24, audit report. To receive the audit report from KLK Chartered Accountants.
Yes, Madam Chair, the report's been circulated. It will be published in the next few days. I recommend the council accept the report and implement the recommendations.
Well, are you
all in
sending them out?
favour?
Are you sending them out
Yeah.
to everybody? Have they?
Are we all in favour? Can we have some hands shown, or are we abstaining? So we've
No,
got...
don't you abstain. It's either yes or no.
No, it's
It's
either
either yes or no, we don't abstain.
Put
You
your
have to
hand up.
abstain. Say.
The procedure is put your hand up.
No.
If you don't put your hand up, you abstain. Am I right or wrong?
I won't be spotted like that.
Not so far.
All in favour? Against? Abstention. Alan, is your hand up, Alan, or down? What is it? It's up. Item 25, freedom of information request. The town clerk to report an anonymised freedom of information request received to authorise the respective to authorise the respective responses accordingly.
Just as a little aside, Madam Chair, because this will be the last type of agenda item of this, because the council tonight decided not to have this item in the future. So the requests in the past couple of weeks, Madam Chair, have been related to various financial information.
Item 27, mental health practitioner training to consider funding for mental health. Excuse me, item 26, volunteer groups, celebration networking to consider holding an event to celebrate the work of local volunteer groups and to facilitate networking between them.
So this was, I did propose something similar. Can you people hear me? I did propose something similar to this beginning of the year, and I've been talking with some of the volunteers, and so they suggested that they didn't want celebrating, they wanted a bit of help, so that we changed it to the lamppost event. On speaking to throughout the year, rest of the year, there's a few volunteers sort of saying, well, actually, it's not a bad idea. We will quite like it. So basically, we've been working with Councillor McGuinness here, and the proposal would be for Thursday the 12th of January. To put the Steinkop generously offered the use of their facilities. I saw it set in roughly 40 numbers, but we didn't know at the time. So based on 40 people for the small buffet, which the quote from Ham, I said it would be £100. What I would propose is that we basically have up to £200 that the council put in, so the volunteers can all get together, they can mix to each other, they can talk, they can network, that sort of thing, but also celebrate, have a bit of a night out from. obviously they're down there, just spot on some food. So I would propose that we put in up to £200 and then the volunteers would come back to the clerk, say if they want to go, we can get some numbers, we can feed the numbers back to the lady at the cop, and the £200 council would support.
Are we all in favour?
I've got concerns about, I mean, you've got people from Fitzwilliam
Actually,
and all that.
yeah.
It's a long way for them to travel, and
It is, Maxine,
it's
and
be hard for them to get up there, really, isn't it?
that is one thing considered. Again, this thing was we could, throughout the years, if you continue with this, move it to different.
I believe I'm right in saying that I've come down here before. Was it last year?
No, we had
Was it something similar?
that was the proposal, but it was changed to a signpost event.
Right, but maybe next year that we can hold it over Fitzwilliam Way.
Fitzwilliam Way.
Kingsway
Because
Way.
they're still getting them up there, and it's that,
Still got to get
get
them
up from
there.
Mentor, and then walk up Ashfield Road.
What about
Bus
King?
stop.
Put in the bus stop.
And it was that council goes that as well. Then. Believe me, I don't know what it
We'll have to have a good talk about that, because it's not fair if we can't make it, we've got to be able to get them there, you know.
Well, we've got a proposal, we've got a seconder, I don't believe, so, all them that's, support it, without a bus,
and talk about that.
and then talk about that, or do you want to,
How much of it was? I don't know what the cost was now.
or do you want to defer it to a later, to get more organised? I don't know.
How much? What's the minimum for that, Alan?
Knows what he wants to do, what he runs.
So just say how much is your bus, for how many, and then we'll see how many gonna go. And we'll-
It depends on drops, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Can I just propose that for now, we just propose on the £200, and then I'll look into the getting people there or not.
Well, I would just say, why not have it Kingsley that it's in the goal?
Right, so we've got a proposal for £200 without the, up to £200, and then Sean, you're gonna look into getting,
What's the numbers? What's the numbers?
They're not even thinking about Fitzwilliam Kingsway Road.
No, I didn't, Maxine, that's why I was saying.
It's like the Mentor Sunday, so,
Yeah,
I agree, it needs to be, I'm gonna support my, Emperor.
yeah, but we need to support Fitzwilliam and Kingsley, because it doesn't get supported.
Propose this, and then I'll look at the transport.
They forget where
If
it
it comes
is.
to it, I'll send it myself.
well, did the lady at the pub say £100?
£100 for 40 people, obviously more 40 people they bought.
Yeah.
So we'll get some figures.
Yeah, it might be that, I don't know, you might get more, so it'll, stick to the 40, see what, and then you've got £100 there that probably could get.
That's why I said, if you want the 200, then
So let's see, yeah, all in favour?
As long as you remember where Fitzwilliam and Kingsley are.
Yeah, so I'm on there now.
You are, love.
I'm on there.
But remember it's been kicked out.
Item 27, mental health practitioner training, to consider funding for mental health practitioner training.
So this is me again, so I was talking to a lovely young lady up at the Methodist Church yesterday. She mentioned that she does mental health first aid training. And because it was funded by the Methodist Church, she has to do 2 a year. Normally this would be £225 per person. The proposal would be, and this is for people that volunteer, the thought is the likes, so like the full banks, the warm banks, some of the general volunteers, they're the people out there at the cold face, if you like. And they deal with people, and they see people every day who suffer from all that psychiatric mental health. This first aid training will give people the tools to help people to get to the right places, that sort of thing. The proposal would be that it is for no more than 16 people, and instead of £225 per person, it would be around £50 per person. So a total of £800, it would take a few pounds. So my proposal would be that if it's supposed to try and pay on time, my proposal would be that the council would fund that, the warm banks, the volunteers, then people would put themselves forward if they want this mental health first aid training.
That's a good idea.
No, it's
Very
very
good.
good, isn't it?
What's your thoughts, everybody?
Very good idea, that.
Yeah,
that's man's
that
fault.
these people, first that these people
There's
go.
women who gets it as well.
It's for men, which is well needed, but also this is for anybody. This is for people who in the Lyn Morton food, who go in the food banks. She will see people more than what Annie's man does. She can then, this is the Lyn volunteers for training. Lyn could then put people in the right direction, but also she'll be able to spot some things. She's got the proper training to spot when people have an issue. Sometimes these people may not realise they're getting themselves into that sort of issue. Mental health picks up on you. It's horrible when it comes all of a sudden. People forcing you through it. That's why people can't really make you do it.
How long was the service last then?
The trainers, mental health first aiders.
I'm saying how long will it last? You know,
The train.
is it just that one session?
It's a one session, yeah, it's not a repeat, it's a one-off £800. If the council decides to go with different people in a year or two, then speak to this lady, sister, then the council has to refund that, but this is a one-off, one out.
So what you're saying, like, it's not like a first aid where you have to train every 3 years?
At the moment, no. Mental health first aid.
I think we do it well.
Well, if we do, then we'll come back in 3 years and you put it to that council. I can't speak about a council.
We would
I'm not saying that.
how many people commit suicide? There needs to be something that.
I like the idea, I don't mind doing it. And I think it's
Right, so, we've got a proposer, Sean.
If the council
Are we-
pays £50 plus a man's couple of quid, it's not.
We've got a second, Ian, I think. Are we all in favour?
Can I just say, we did say something sort of volunteer groups and that, who it is. Comes over running from the council to see them, I think, you know, because-
might come to them one day, it should be
Item 28,
How rude is that?
Christmas float. Consider having a Christmas float in parish.
What?
The Christmas float.
Miss Float.
So this is what you've done previous, where we agreed
Yeah.
5,000 states.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a good idea, it's great. My only concern is that we've got the proper risk assessments, because we obviously don't want Santa hurting each other.
We've done it for the last 3 Christmases, this will be the 4th one. Everything's been in place, risk assessment, insurance, and Gordon's provided truck, diesel and cost. And when we've done our people's home at Fitzwilliam, Kingsley and Emsworth, me and Council Eccles have provided presents for them. In fact, Jean wraps them all up. And we've given them a couple of days before Christmas for old people. There's a lot of old people that's in these old folks' homes, don't get anybody to see them, they don't get any presents at Christmas, so at least they've got something to hold. And like I said, this will be 4th year, so it's down to people here.
I was making sure that we don't
Yeah,
get
he's-
Santa, that's all I'm making sure.
I'll make sure that everything's in place.
We don't get presents at Christmas.
Yeah, I think that's got to be done. I think, for myself, I think standing. I'm sorry, we're not having public questions. Yeah, I think a proper route, and then people will know that they're going, because they were all saying it ain't come up my street, but sometimes you can't get down them streets, but trust me, the kids come running, they all know and they absolutely love it. And also, like Councillor Kenny just said, you'd be surprised them pensioners in home, they all come to Wingers, they all get a present, they love it. So, it's up to councillors anyway. So,
I think as long as we've got the head provisions in place, that we can also.
yeah, I think proper rules. Yes, and also publish to make sure everybody knows. Are we all in favour?
But why is he making out they don't get
Yeah.
presents when they do?
I think that's Unanimous.
Chair, can I just answer that question? We had a letter from the old folks home down Grove Lane, and we got some emails from some of the staff that work there saying that this residents in there would have no family.
Yeah.
And it'd be a good idea if we could call down as
But
council.
the management always make sure that them residents have a present Christmas.
All I can tell you
I've
is
worked
3
in
years
mental
ago.
health care
Yeah.
home
You've gone into something, and I'm not allowing public
for
questions.
20 odd
We know that,
years, so don't lie.
we know that pensioners
They
in these
don't get
nursing
looked
homes
after.
get presents.
Yes, they do.
Because my mother-in-law was in, they
Yes.
all get presents, Jim, but they did, obviously they did say, and I just think it's inadequate from, because they see
I
the
agree,
right to.
I agree, but don't
No,
make
like
out
I
that
said,
don't
you've
The
got
right,
to
the right to.
That's making out that they're
And
not
that's
looked after.
I think the fact.
And
that-
I've worked in them.
The fact that we do go to nursing homes, that they know how much we think about them being there and what they do. That's my opinion.
Well,
But,
well, it should learn
obviously,
things.
and it's the light up of the vehicle as well, that they all look forward to. And they do.
Yeah,
They
so
do.
got kids.
So
They do.
does kids and all.
The kids love it, and that's
Yeah, they
why
do.
it's come up again. That's why it's come up again.
I suppose it's a proper designated route.
Yeah, that's, we've just said there's going to be a
They need
designated
to look
room.
after future and not past.
So, so balances from item 29, balances from 218 to 222, to consider the council's year-end balances from 218 to 22.
I don't understand this
Jim?
one. I don't understand this one.
Yeah, your balances from 2018 on the precept. From 2018 there were no increase on precept. 2019 no increase on precept, and we provided extra facilities. 2020 we hit COVID, so things slowed down a bit. We had less income down at Water Park and Lakeside Cafe, but the town clerk did a good job claiming what he could from Wakefield Council and Government. In 2021, things got back to normal again. We still managed on the same budget once again and provided extra facilities, and we knocked the car park charges off at the Water Park in 2020, I think it was, we took it into 30,000 with that. We also provided the carveries, and in 2022 again we kept the preset same, and I just hope that we can do budgets up again. As well as that, we did hanging baskets, we did Christmas trees at Fitzwilliam and kids that we've never had before, and a multitude of other things.
No, they've always had it.
No, it's never been put. I think, sorry, I'll go on, Alan, I know.
Yeah, did the preset go up? The answer is yes and no, just to be awkward. What the household pays didn't go up, but overall, because there were more households, the total preset went up.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, but we didn't put ours in the same. Yeah, the same words. Yeah. But I have noticed as well. I have noticed as well that the decoration, the Christmas lights, I don't know about this one, I think that way. Well, we've got a lot more than we had last year.
I'm glad you are.
I think we come. No, I did for Maxine.
I'm not
Myself.
just
Yeah.
blaming you for that.
No, myself.
Fitzwilliam and Kingsley have been neglected for
Yeah.
a long time.
Agreed.
For
Right.
years.
So
And we still are.
I made a point of it. I don't know, last year, the day before last, it were already started for that year when I mentioned it, and that our Fitzwilliam and Kingsley get very little lights compared to other areas, and I've noticed. I'm hoping it's going to be the same at Fitzwilliam, because there is extra lights this year in Kingsley.
Well,
so,
we need to go and have a look and see.
well, I'm sure Alan did his homework on that because they have improved. But I will have a look at Fitzwilliam. But he did voice his, he did voice his concern
He
about
talks
it.
about Christmas trees,
Yeah.
it's really Kingsley, done it all, they trimmed them up.
Yeah, we did until we did that on until we got it from, we paid Wakefield to have them, you know, done permanently, so that them lights that were on last year, even though they did really well to get them up, with
Last
bought the
minute,
trees.
I'm reminded Alan that we didn't have one again.
Last minute they got, so.
And then Alan did his best and got us one.
What's that about, Alan?
When I
Because the
remind-
trees were bought together for Fitzwilliam and Kingsley, and they were trimmed up together, so what did you
Well,
get?
it came
What?
late. It came late, didn't it, Alan? And I had to email you. I've got the emails. I can still send them on if you want. And I just said,
Yeah, I think they did Kingsley, and then they did Fitzwilliam, I think that's what it was. I know they were done and approved at the same time to get them, so, but like I said, they look a lot better now, Wakefield's in them, because the lights are more prominent, they're a lot better, so.
Well, what's across Wakefield's from it?
So,
You think somebody's well?
Item 30, councillor's conduct, to consider councillor's conduct, we're going to move this to exclusion of press and public.
Why?
So,
Why?
I realised that
Because it wasn't
getting every meeting
So,
list.
it's good night to the public, and we'll carry on exclusion
How
of press and
rude are
public.
you?
Thank you.
Move it to end.
Why put it on an agenda?
We can't just take it off.
We'll do it.
Right,
Send
but
an
we
email.
spent this time moving to end.
Well, have you got any other questions you'd like to ask them before we?
Yeah, why has that been moved to exclusion?
And did you not listen to, that will come next, from.
Next May when you've got.
Next May,
Now.
when you've
So
got.
it will come back on the next meeting, but as it is now, it's exclusion of press and public.
It's a waste of time.
Any questions, depends how important it is. When's his next meeting?
On to the question time at end. We haven't got it.
Just make sure breach of
I've never known it.
confidentiality from certain councillors
It can't
is
be.
discussed in exclusion, please. Because I have discussed it with the monitoring office again today myself.
We're going for
So
co-op.
the councillors that's involved in it, make sure you have a good discussion in exclusion. That's actually done the breaching of confidentiality. You know who you are.
And that includes the town clerk as well.
Just take care, all of you. When's the next meeting?